What's up, you guys? Welcome to BB Talk with me and my BB, Ray.
Hello.
I promise I'm not making him do this against his will, but we are gonna have a fun episode today. We're gonna talk about something that we've been watching, which is Love is Blind Season 8. So, yeah, okay.
Cool.
So, I'm gonna start off by just showing you some of the characters and we can kind of share our thoughts and predictions. So, let me pull them up. What are your first impressions overall on this season in comparison to past seasons you've watched?
The ones that we watched together, I would say like this one started off like it could be pretty good, and then it devolved pretty quickly towards the end of the first phase. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's funny because I actually find this season a lot more entertaining than most of the ones I've seen in the past. I will say there are a lot of white people, and it's kind of funny because I always see these memes of, the white guys morphing into one guy, and they're saying that like 5 of the guys are just like the JD Vance multiverse. So yeah, I feel like at the beginning I thought there was like 1 or 2 guys I was watching, but it turned out to be like 5 different guys. But they're all very entertaining.
yes. They're all different shades of the same guy.
Yeah, I think the girls overall, I can see. I think they definitely seem like a group that want to be there, and they're all a little not older, but I think the average age. The average age is around like 30, maybe 28 or so. So they're somewhat not older, but they're not like their early 20s. So I think that's interesting. We have like a mature group of women. But okay, we're just gonna go into it. And this first couple, hold on. This first couple, I believe. Let me just show you. These two, I think it's Taylor. What's her name? The oncology nurse and Ben. So, the first scandal that came up with them, like right after they got engaged, Taylor was. I think that's her name. I forgot. Taylor was like going on about how she thinks that Ben may have sabotaged the experiment because he followed her and unfollowed her at one point, defeating the whole purpose of the show's, experiment. And she put him into questioning right away and just put him on the spot. So what did you think about that whole scenario?
So the fact that the producers, like one of them or whoever that was, came and were like, "Hey, if you want answers to your question, we can give you your phone." She was like, "Yeah." They already had their phone like ready, right? So they're just like ready for the drama to basically unfold. Which, yeah, sure, totally, that's great. What I would say is that what's his name, Ben?
I think so, yeah.
If based on that interaction, he's either incredibly sincere or he's literally all in, no going back because she couldn't find any proof. I mean, his name could be like way different on social media. Wouldn't She was probably looking for like his first and last name,
Yeah.
but he could have been like, I don't know, Tortilla Lover 2025. Who knows? So
Yeah.
it's just I've if he is sincere, I can't tell just yet. But if he is being sincere, then he wouldn't have anything to hide. And so, okay, yeah, all his responses would naturally make sense. But if he did do this, because he did at one point like crack a little bit, where he was like, I don't know if you may find me on your tracking app or whatever. But it's just like he's all in. He's either all in on the lie or he's all in on the relationship. One of the two.
Yeah, and we were saying, or on the opposite end, Taylor is just batshit crazy. Which turns out, from what we saw in the edit, she was like crying and she was like, he's so patient with me. I'm just crazy. So, but coming from someone who I can't relate to the exact scenario, but I feel like if you're a girl that's been lied to a lot in the past or cheated on, whatever, you've just been like your trust has been tested way too many times. So I think she's at that point where it's like early on enough to where she could be crazy and just see like what he's gonna do about it, and for her peace of mind, knowing that was he the
Yeah.
guy on the app?
Where do you think that comes from, though?
The craziness?
Yeah, like where do you think like that like distrust comes from? Because I feel like you'd have to have taken a spin on like some really bad relationships to like get to that point.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think it comes from like cheating or just being lied to in your past relationships, and yeah, that's point blank. Because no girl is just crazy like that for no reason. I feel like in girls that haven't had those experiences, they always start off really trusting. Like they rarely ever are like they have an app where they unfollow, or they rarely ever like look through the guy's phone or whatever if they haven't been in a situation that burnt them due to lying.
Right. So that's what I was trying to get at. So like they don't nobody starts out this way, right?
No, I
So
mean
then
I'm pretty confident, but
yeah,
yeah.
for the most part, highest probability. Nobody starts out like that. The question is like how many bad experiences do you think it takes to guess become like that?
It could honestly take one. It could take one in the sense that like you've been with that person for years, or you really thought that this person was someone worth trusting, and then when they break your trust, it kind of creates that negative belief in your mind to where you will just go into everything after that with absolute caution.
So you think it just takes one?
One, for me personally, it took like 3 experiences
Okay.
with 3 different people where I started recognizing a pattern, or I thought I was, and I created that belief that trust has to be earned. I think when I first started off like dating, I don't want to say naive, but I started off very much like everyone deserves to be trusted unless you break my trust, which is which is what happened ultimately in all my relationships. And then it switched to being like, no, I don't trust anyone until you show me you're worth trusting.
Yeah, sure. Wow, okay, gotcha. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot.
Speaking from my experience, but I can't speak for every girl, but if I had to make a guess, I would say it takes like just one bad experience to rock you until you just can't. It's hard to trust.
Really? Okay, gotcha. Okay, so okay. So from your experience, quick side note. From your experience of let's say the 3 times that it took, was there a lesson that you didn't learn the first time around that caused the second time to happen the same way and the third time to happen that way? Is there something that like made the switch for you? Or like is there something that you could look at your actions and maybe be like, okay, this is something that I'm accountable for, and once I addressed it, like it stopped happening, kind of thing. Did you have any of those moments at all?
Oh, yeah. It definitely was the fact that I didn't vet these people properly. And I just, like, in the past, I would definitely go on, like, dating apps or wherever I would find somebody. And I would first go about it on the physical. And I was so blinded by the physical that, like, okay, yeah, this is just for the sake of the conversation. For example, like one of my exes, I had met him on Tinder, and literally on his profile it said going to study abroad, like, kind of hinting at the fact that I won't be here. But I just didn't care about that, and I was like, oh my god, but he's like perfect. So it's like there are red flags that I just chose to ignore. And then it took those experiences after like getting burnt a few times to be like, okay, I'm not ignoring these red flags. If anything, I'm being overly cautious now, which in turn caused me to, be celibate for a long, like almost 6 years. And even like to the point where my female friendships, I'm extra cautious, and I only have like one person that I can really trust now, or like
Sure.
maybe a handful of girls that are really in my true circle.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, ignoring red flags for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. So now you no longer ignore them.
Oh no, no.
Okay, nice.
But even if there are, like with us, like I'm not saying like obviously like green flags, but I think everyone has like a yellow or maybe red flag, right? But I think it's like, what are you gonna do about that? Like, is that something that you can live with? Is that something you can work through? Because I feel like if someone is just like all green flags, that's kind of suspicious to me. I don't know.
No, sure. Yeah, of course, yeah. Would it be fair to say that in order for the same thing to stop happening to you, you have to address the thing that's maybe causing it?
Mm-hmm.
Which what that actually means is basically just like addressing the it's it's like hard to describe because it's subjective for everybody, but like I feel like the universe gives you hints on what this belief in your mind is, and it's subjective for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel like once you address it, like it should stop happening.
Mm-hmm.
As it, well, I would say like as long as you address it, you come to terms with it, and then you just it basically it's a sentence that starts with "Never again will I,"
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Should we go back into the Love is Blind
Yeah.
conversation? Okay. So, yeah, I think like just first impressions off the bat with them, I think that Ben guy is super cute just because he's like 5'8" or whatever, and he went to the experiment, loving the fact that you couldn't, or taking not taking advantage, but because he's shorter than most guys, he wanted his partner to, fall in love with him for him and not his height. And to me, he seems very genuine. And I'm trying to look at it from her perspective. Like, if I had thought that my person had saw me before the experiment, I think it's the whole premise of like, you lied and cheated the system. But I, I don't know. I don't think he actually. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
Not enough information has been given so
Yeah,
far.
and I don't know if it's just like me being like a video editor or whatever, but I know that it's so easy to manipulate a narrative on TV with the edits.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know
Mm-hmm.
the true story. We only know what the producers want us to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be harmless because there was at one point where they were laughing during that whole thing, and I was like, oh, it's not that bad then. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
But I hope they work out. I think intuitively, if you're going to ask me, are they going to work out or not? I am going to say yes. I don't know why, but I'm going to say yes. I think they are going to say I do at the altar. What do you
Interesting.
think?
I'm gonna say no
Okay, why do you say no?
because it started out with too much friction. Like
Mm-hmm.
it started out with like that's like really big dramatic pill, you know. Even if he did follow and unfollow her like weeks before the show or whatever, if she's because she said herself, yeah, he followed somebody that potentially could be you, followed and unfollowed me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're unfollowed, then like I just don't think that like starting off
Like that
the
is a
first
good
day
no.
out of the pods like that, I think it's more telling of what's to come.
Like a
Like
sets a
I
tone.
yeah, like either her theory could be correct or another thing will get brought up that is I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say
Say
no on
no.
that one. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
just seem too different.
Yeah, I'm glad that she went with her gut, but I know I really want to know the truth because, like, from a guy's perspective, do guys just follow and unfollow girls like always, or I would think someone does that because, like, okay, I think from what she was saying, her account was private because he was able like. I think what happened is he followed her because her account was private, and then he probably saw the information, but then it's like, how would you know if she was going on the show? I don't know. Because why would you unfollow someone? That's just weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's too many
Yeah,
variables,
I
not
don't
enough
know.
information, and at the end of the day, it's social media,
Yeah.
which to me is just like most of the fights in my previous relationships ended because of social media where
Mm-hmm.
I just had to put a stop to it. And
Right.
so just like if you were to ask me about like social media drama, it's an immediate black flag for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an immediate like it's a black flag with crossbones and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that it's a simply like just a no go zone.
I know.
So I just starting off the relationship with the superficiality of Instagram, which if it is private and he unfollowed her, then what's he looking at anyway? But your question that you asked like a minute ago,
Do guys
like do
just do
guys just
that?
follow and unfollow? So typically, and this is just from my own like experience, back when I was like before this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I would basically like follow and unfollow people just because I thought they were attractive. That's
Mm-hmm.
really it. It's like very like guys are very visual, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's a visual thing.
Okay.
And if they end up being like a private account or whatever, then it's like why if there's more like hurdles to
Mm-hmm.
just like follow somebody, like it's a private account and then they have to approve you and blah blah blah, all that stuff, then it's just simply just like not worth it
Mm-hmm.
because there's too much opportunity as a guy to like see other, other attractive people.
Mm-hmm.
And so like and then typically like sometimes like guys will just like follow because they're attractive, but then they'll just immediately unfollow and be like, I wasn't thinking with the right brain on that one, and they just unfollow it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
typically like it's not like post nut syndrome, but it's just like a post follow clarity. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, why am I doing this? Unfollow. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And it depends on like if you're just like it depends on what stage of guy you're in. If you're still in the boy stage, then you'll just follow and you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're in like the I'm trying to mature stage, then
Mm-hmm.
you'd be like, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you keep it more conservative.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, so all that, or correct me if I'm wrong, that's on the context of when you were single,
Right? Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
no, not in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you feel comfortable talking about it, I think
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning we did have like some stuff like that happening, but long story short, I think like I felt like insecure about like maybe it was you liking stuff. I feel like this is something to talk about in general. We
Sure.
don't have to go into specifics, but I feel like a lot of girls
Mm-hmm.
have not just girls, but it's like an issue in relationships that it makes me sad to see that it really can ruin relationships.
Oh yeah.
But as a girl, I personally I don't want to what's the word control you on like your posts, but it does make me feel insecure whenever say you were if you were to like, some fucking Playboy girl in a bikini
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Um but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
As a guy, what has your thoughts been? Like you said in the past, you've had issues with this. Has your sentiment towards social media and liking posts changed? Like, what's your overall feedback on that?
Yeah. So and this is specifically about Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm. Or, yeah.
Yeah. So Instagram is not a social media app; it's a dating app, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we just be real about that. So, but that being said, you bring up a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
We 100% did have like those kind of like friction points at the beginning of our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and really, it's mainly because, and I'll most likely speak for most guys on this,
Mm-hmm.
but it's mainly because as a guy, you have a way lower success rate
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like getting like not getting with somebody but like getting into a relationship with somebody. You have a way lower success rate than girls do, first of
Mm-hmm.
all. Second of all, once you're in a relationship, you have a way lower success rate of keeping that person in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the point in the relationship, like I don't know how many months it takes, 6 to 12 to maybe 2 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's in that journey of when you're in that relationship where the guy like truly either like thinks, okay, yes, I do see a future
Mm-hmm.
and I do see like this next level of maturity,
Mm-hmm.
that stops
Okay.
for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when I say like for the most part is like it starts with a resolution of the guy basically saying like I will no longer just follow random people and like do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the beginning of the relationship,
It's like
because
unsure.
because I don't have because I know that the probability is against me that this will actually work out, I'll still kind of play the field a little bit over on this side just because if I already have such a low chance of like getting with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
then like and I know that this relationship may or may not work out to a very high probability,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep playing the field on the other side just so that like not to have a safety net, but to just still be in the rhythm and the habit of like reaching out and
Mm-hmm.
like approaching and doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because for guys it's all a numbers game. Like
Yeah.
girls depending on the standard things like sexual purity and like desirableness and all that stuff, just like as like a whole, they have a way higher probability of being like, I want to be with this guy, and I'm gonna stay with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like girls have a way higher probability of doing that. I say girls, right? Not guys. Yeah. So guys have a way lower probability of it actually all working out. So we're gonna play the field in the beginning because in the beginning it's not that serious, and that is the truth, right? But pretty soon into the relationship, you can have to just like make the change to like, okay, cool, like this person has displayed traits that I could see long term in my life. And that kind of starts the process of kind of like stopping this whole playing on the side kind of thing.
Okay, so
You know?
what you're saying is the guy has to decide for himself, like, this is serious, and if it isn't, they typically, because it's a numbers game, they will still maybe like girls' posts and stuff. Would you say the point that it was serious for you was when, I think this is what I remember. It's like when you actually asked me to be your girlfriend, that's when it was like actually serious to where you're fully committed. And then prior to that, I guess people, not just guys, but I feel like if you're dating and you're not really like boyfriend and girlfriend, I think people should be able to like date other people, or like it's not, you're not fully locked in on that person, if that makes
Sure. No,
sense.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. What I would say to that is the point at which you ask someone to be like your boyfriend, girlfriend is the point at which the resolution is pretty strong that, yes, I want to end this life.
Yeah.
That being said, that's where the resolution starts. It's not where it ends, right?
Yeah.
So that starts the process. So of course there'll be like, like little trickles of like, longer periods of time between those things happening when a guy is just like on Instagram or whatever and just like following people, and then it becomes less and less. And then it comes to the point where it's just like, yeah, I could see myself with this person. I want to stop this habit. Now, cold turkeying habits, we all know doesn't work, right? So there'll be little slip ups here or there, but they will definitely be after like a much longer time frame of when things happen, right?
Oh wow, so you would say like liking girls' pictures is almost, I'm not judging, I'm just saying it's like a habit. Because I can kind of see that. It's like if you're scrolling, you just double tap on things
Right.
you like.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. Okay, so
It's a
you're
habit.
essentially ending a habit. Sorry.
Right, yeah, exactly, 100%. You're essentially like trying to end a habit.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, because the thing is like, once again, like you have a trigger, which is you see a hot girl on Instagram, you have the routine, okay, I'm gonna hit like, and then you have the reward, okay, I just gave this person a like, dopamine, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw something that I like, boom, liked it, that's it, you know what I'm saying? But like you can only really change the routine. And for me, that was just like being more on like Twitter, like where I see like news and like I just see like words and stuff, and I mean like X has also become like this thing where it's just like it's too much free speech. So sometimes you'll scroll past like some porn like every once in a while,
Oh wow.
and it's just like, oh my god, like I don't want to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, but it's definitely way better still than Instagram. You know. Also, the other thing to consider is like if you're with somebody and they have this habit and you're like with them and like boyfriend girlfriend whatever, the amount of liking other girls' posts that the guy does while in a relationship is directly correlated to like how committed and how much he wants to be with his, his girlfriend, right? Because
Okay.
typically, and this is for the majority of not just guys but also girls, but you're only as committed as your options, right? And a lot of the times what happens is like people get together and then the girl still has a lot of options. So it's much more rare for the girl to like not do this,
Yeah.
not like other people's posts or whatever. I remember like my previous relationship, I literally used to disguise the fact that yes, I was liking other girls' pictures. Like I used to disguise that fact with, oh, I just think that person's really talented. I want to give them a like. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the times that was also true. But the genuine truth was I just liked them because they were attractive. That's it. It's like justification and stuff is something that happens when you want to avoid the truth. And it's avoid, not tell the truth, right? It's just to avoid it, which you leverage something that is slightly true. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Okay. I think like whenever I see, I mean, I'm not like here to judge other people, but I definitely see like people that I know for sure are committed relationships, and I see like their man, like I'm friends with their guy, and like you know how you on Instagram you could see like so and so like this post, and I'm like, damn, isn't your girlfriend like so and so? And it's like freaking half naked girl. I'm just like,
Yep.
I don't think bad on the girl. I'm just like, come on, like dude, what the fuck? I don't know. It just like makes me sad, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad that like in our relationship it's not a problem. Like I don't think it is a problem
Mm-hmm.
because it's not really happening, to be honest. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's something that people should talk about because I think for women they see it as like disrespectful and like yeah. So
And that's fair. And that's fair. At the same time, you can only command the amount of respect that you are able to give in loyalty, right? Because like, um, I think we said this I don't remember. I don't know if we actually said this ever on a BB talk, but like the primary currency for a man in the relationship is respect, and the primary currency for a woman in the relationship is loyalty. And so you can only command as much loyalty as you respect your significant other. Because if you don't respect them, then they're not going to be loyal to you. You know, it's a two-way street because you always attract your mirror. You attract exactly who you are, and like the actions that you are taking is very indicative of the actions they are taking on their side. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is something that I don't think most people understand, but it is true that like you really are the mirror reflection of this other person. And like if you think you're doing shady stuff like behind their back or whatever, then they're probably also doing it as well. Girls are just way better at hiding it, you know?
yeah.
But that being said, it's just like I know if like as a guy, if I like respect myself and like I'm happy with where I am and like I am loyal, the amount of loyalty I am giving to this person is directly correlated to the amount of respect that I'm getting as a guy, basically. So, and the thing is like when you give like as a guy, if you give loyalty and you don't get respect, that's an immediate breakup. If you as the girl give loyalty, but then he cheats on you all the time, that's an immediate breakup, right? So like they're just indicators. They're just indicators of the higher probability of what's actually happening.
Before we move on to the next couple, can you expand on what you mean about like guys or people are only as loyal as their options? Like how does like a girl that wants to go after a high value man, like how can she trust he's gonna be loyal if like he has all these options?
He's not. That's the thing. Like the thing is like and this is why relationships that are built from the ground up are way stronger. Like us, for example. Like you met me when I basically had like no money in the stock market, no money, like not much money in crypto, whatever. And like we've built that together by just like you being with me and you trusting me to know that like I'm doing my job, right?
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Like if a guy has made it and he has all the money now without the credit of a woman, then because money is literal freedom points, he basically is the shiny object, and all the girls trying to get him have shiny object syndrome. Not that's not to say that like the girls that want this person are gold diggers, but the thing is because this man has money, women see that he has the highest probability of just always being able to take care of me and all that stuff, and that's why women go after him. But because they cannot credit the woman for his success, he doesn't need the woman. To him, the women are accessories. They're things to attain. They're just potentially another number to them. Now, there's plenty of rich guys that just want to settle down because they're sick and tired of being alone and having nobody to share all of this with. But they have the lowest probability of staying in a committed relationship because his time and money is so like it's so valuable that there's nothing a woman can provide that would make him want to commit to this woman unless he helps this man in every aspect that he needs help with. For example, if he orders takeout all day, if you become the woman that cooks for him all day, you know what I'm saying? Or just like And once again, we're going back to like traditional things.
Yeah.
Like if the woman just like cooks and cleans and takes care of all the things which are not in the skill set of the man, and like
Mm-hmm.
they're able to like fill that, and then they're giving him unlimited respect, that has the highest probability of getting this man to basically commit to
Mm-hmm.
this person. However, girls typically come in entitled to those relationships, thinking, "Oh, because I had sex with a guy that was like a 9 out of 10 on the wealth scale, I am entitled to a man like that." And now
Mm-hmm.
they don't do any of this stuff.
Mm.
It's another way that like women like really damage themselves by just like sleeping around and like,
Mm-hmm.
but no, you're absolutely right. The No woman has the ability to command loyalty from a man that has made it that far, which is why,
Mm-hmm.
because this man is the shiny object and women want him, it's another visualization of the 99% of women chase the 1% of men, right?
Yeah.
This is how it always goes since the dawn of history.
Mm-hmm.
And women are also like collectibles to people that have like a lot of money, which
Mm-hmm.
is why in the past kings had harems, kings had just concubines, and some
Mm-hmm.
still do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like there's a reason why that kind of like culture exists,
Mm-hmm.
because it, even if the man cheats on this girl, it's like the girl is like this is still the most successful man ever. He could still take care of me, and so like
Mm-hmm.
it becomes like a very like lopsided thing. But like how that is different from like our relationship is like we built everything from the ground up in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something that most couples can't really say, because most couples like see relationships as 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I simply don't like, that's not how you command like
Mm-hmm.
loyalty from somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's basically asking you to give on both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You're giving money and giving loyalty, like that, like the money
Mm-hmm.
should be on the guy, the loyalty should be on the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And and yeah, you're right. Like
Mm-hmm.
women don't have good chances with rich guys because those rich guys don't need them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only thing that those women can, for the most part, provide is just their looks. And there's so many beautiful girls out there.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they pick you? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's a simple just like question of probability at that point.
Right. I think because that is true, that's why we have a big influx of women being independent and not looking for guys, and they're just staying single because it's like they don't want to, like, they know that's going to happen, so they just rather be the rich man in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kind of understand it. And then I mean, like, I feel like for me, I've learned that you can't really command loyalty. I think for me, I just go about life in like this relationship that I'll just love you no matter what, in the sense that like I don't have any expectations. I hope that, everything, by me being loyal, I of course hope that you'll be loyal as well. But life, you just don't know what's gonna happen in life,
Mm-hmm.
and you just kind of have to go with I go with the flow. But like it's like I don't think it's right to have expectations of anything regardless of what you put into the relationship. But what I'm saying is like you could have the most like your dad could be like a Christian man for like all his life and still cheat on your mom, and it's like,
Yep.
oh, but he was supposed to be like, it's like there's no, you can say that, but like I don't think having expectations on how people should or should not be, I think that sets you up for failure.
Yeah.
So I think it's like being able to be okay with yourself no matter what happens
Mm-hmm.
is like what's more important, and then you love without condition.
Yeah.
Meaning that like I love you because I love you, not because I know if I stick by you and help you build your business, you're gonna be loyal to me the next 100, years.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
that'd be great, and that'd be a dream scenario, and I hope that's what would happen. But in life, you just don't know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I think with that being said, like I was gonna ask you another question, and it's like so off a tangent from the Love Is Blind stuff,
That's
but it's
okay.
fine. We're just talking about whatever.
But
Yeah.
to sum up what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is like, yeah, you're absolutely right. That last part where
Mm-hmm.
it's like you cannot deduce deep belief systems
Mm-hmm.
through superficial ways,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I mean is like just because somebody's Christian doesn't mean that they're going to be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Just because somebody's Christian, for example, and like this is we say this only because we know the Christian community,
Mm-hmm.
so you understand. Like I can't talk about like Muslims or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but like if somebody is a Christian man, that doesn't necessarily mean they'll be, successful. It doesn't mean they'll be loyal. It doesn't mean even though it's like disguised under like the whole Christian thing, we have an idea of what the whole Christian thing is like about, which is about like love for God, loyalty, thou shalt not kill, and for the most part, that is true. But those reasons should not be like those things should not be the reason why you believe somebody has a certain belief system. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? If they talk about how much, they love their parents and like they want to do something nice for them, you know what I'm saying? That's how you can deduce, okay, yes, this person is family oriented. But if somebody says, "Oh, I'm Christian," or like I go to church every Sunday, that doesn't automatically mean they love their parents. It doesn't automatically mean they're successful or loyal or any of this stuff. And that also goes for most other religions and other, whatever. But yeah, all I'm trying to say is you cannot use superficial reasons to justify somebody's deep belief systems,
Yeah. I
right?
think at the end of the day, it's like we said, it's all probability. Like, there's always exceptions. And, like, the
Yes.
thing is, like, of course, like, I'm glad that we're building our relationship. But, you have people like Bill Gates, not Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and, like, Elon Musk. They also built their career with the same woman. And then when they reach 50 or whatever, they find a new woman. So it's like, I don't want to give women false belief that that's, like, going to be the, like, that's building something with a man is going to guarantee you loyalty, because it just doesn't. But it is nice to build something with someone. I think it's just that's why there, in part, I do support the feminist movement, in the sense that, like, you should be able to stand on your own if something were to happen, but yet still be feminine enough to, like, have a man lead if you're in a healthy relationship. But that's just what I was thinking. So
Yeah, no,
so
and
yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. These are just things I feel like not a lot of people ever talk about, because it's so taboo, and, like, I just want to talk about that with you.
No,
But
that's great.
I guess the next couple we could talk about is it's a light skinned couple. I can't find this girl. What the fuck is his name? I think her name's like Victoria or something.
Virginia.
Virginia and Devin.
Mm-hmm.
So context: Devin is like 28 or something. He's a basketball coach, and then Virginia is a little older. I think she's 5 years older, and she's grown. They're both grown, but there's an age gap there. Do you think they're gonna make it to the end?
Hard no.
Why?
Hard no. Well, the probability says hard no. And the reason that is because she is 5 years older. And this is not a bad thing. Well, actually, we should say it differently. He is 5 years younger
Yeah.
than her. And because of that, the gap in maturity between them is going to be much bigger, because women are typically more mature in terms of like their brain development by about like 3 to 5 years on average, more than guys, because testosterone like drives down like men's communication ability, right? So with that being said, the probability says they're most likely not going to work out. And the reason that I believe they're not going to work out is because I don't think she will be able to respect him.
Really?
And it has to do with that. He may be able to give her full loyalty because he's like, oh, it's like, she's a little, more mature. She has probably more assets or whatever. And there's a reason why she's single at 33, So she's already had like probably over a decade to build her, her male instincts to get to where she is. And I just think it's just, the probability says it's just a hard no. I don't even think they're going to get to the altar, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think there will be situations where he will display not like immaturity, but just like him at his 28-year-old self. And she's just going to look at that and be like, that's not what a 40-year-old would do. You know what I'm saying?
So maturity it comes down to.
Yeah, it's going to come down to maturity, which will lead to the amount of respect that she's able to give to him, which is most likely not that much. And
Is it because he's 28? Like, would this matter if, say, he was 38 and she was 42? Or is it because he's in the late 20s is what makes it a difference? Or you're saying, regardless of what age, if the man is younger, the woman won't respect him?
yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. Like, I think after the age of like 35 to 40 or so,
not as
the
much.
age gap doesn't become like much more different, because now we're dealing with like fully built and solidified belief systems,
Got
right?
it.
Like we're
Because you know
basically
who they are.
we're basically dealing with drifters at that point. Not to say that like they are drifters, but like they will have their belief systems like set in stone already, and so like
You can see a person who for who they really
yeah,
are at
yeah.
that age.
Because once you're closer to the age of 60, instead of like 0, it's like the amount of weight that each year has becomes less and less as you become older. Like in terms of like maturity, brain development, and just because the thing is like most guys don't like fully mature until they're like 31, 2, 3. Like guys' voice actually change until they're like 35. Like it gets deeper over time. You know what I'm saying? Like guys' brains take way longer to mature. So that being said, she's gonna like there was even a situation where I think they were like joking about something, and he was like, "Do you play video games?" And she was like, "No." Do you
Yeah.
play video games? Immediately leave, bro. Like immediate red flag because
It's
he
not
obviously
compatible.
plays video games.
Obvious, like he has a sleeve of like anime and stuff.
Literally, yeah, he
Yeah.
has a Dragon Ball Z sleeve,
Uh huh.
all this stuff. This is not a man that she wants
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things. However, it's really easy to fall in love with somebody just based on like what you say, but there's at least like 5 to 10 years of maturity between them, and so my diagnosis for the situation is cut and run as soon as you can, because it's just not gonna work out, and that's what the probability says. So.
So you think she needs like more of a man that is someone she could respect, maturity wise and older probably.
Right, yeah, and which 80% of that weight is going to come from the fact that like she needs like a 35 to 40-year-old that is not like rich, but like is well off enough to where he
She
probably makes like
respected.
6+ figures a year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of guy that I see in her eyes that she wants.
Right. I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
just by pure observation, he's like a. I think he teaches, like with the education system on basketball or whatever, and let's just say he's probably like a little bit above a teacher's salary, and
Sure.
I don't even know what she's doing. So yeah, I think they may be in different tax brackets. I don't know, but yeah, I don't. I want them to work out. They're so cute. Like he loves basketball, the Lakers. She was a dancer for the Lakers. All those cute things. But I think when it comes down to it, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I feel like, well, here, yeah, I'm gonna say no, but I can kind of see myself in her in that she said that Devin is the first nice guy she's ever dated, meaning that all the guys before her were probably treating her like shit. So it's like after experiencing like really shitty experiences, like the first like quote unquote nice guy you see is like it's like a breath of fresh air, and like it makes you realize that there are good guys out there, but then it's like that may not be like your forever. That may just be the guy to like wake you up and so that you don't go back to those shitty guys. I don't know.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I want them to be happy, but yeah, I'm gonna say no on them too. Okay, we can do one last couple.
Yeah. So and then the Texas facial aesthetics surgeon guy, the supplier, and the
Oh,
school teacher.
oh
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so what the fuck is his name? Lauren, I think.
Lauren
And
and
wait, Love is Blind. Lauren and is it Dave?
might be Dave. I don't know.
Yeah, Lauren and Dave. Those guys. Yeah. So he's talking about the medical sales guy and Lauren. Okay, you can
Yeah.
start.
It's a no for me. It's a no. They seem. It, it seems that Lauren has some belief systems that are conflicting, and Dave seems not experienced enough to handle it. So I would say I'm a skew more to the no side. Yeah, we'll just see on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I can tell in the pods, like, I don't know why Lauren attached to Dave so much because, at least from the edit, it looked like they got along, but I almost feel like she attached to him because of the competition with Molly. And I think she just, I don't know, I'm just projecting what I think is happening. Like, she's 32 or something like that, and I feel like because women have a biological clock, it's like when they haven't had the best luck with guys and they find one guy that's just almost like there, they're like, okay, I'm just gonna settle with this one. Like, so I feel like she's just kind of, it's like the best she can get or something. So, but I feel like she's so genuine and cute. I want better for her, and I feel like with this Dave guy, he's had like a lot of trauma happen in the sense that he lost his mom, and I feel like he still has a lot of like internal work he needs to do if he wants to actually have a genuine relationship, because he was saying how like in the past he just kind of fucked around and found out and did whatever. But and then I don't have enough context to this, but I think there's some issues with his sister in that like um they have a weird relationship with his sister. Like he like, I don't know, like she interferes too much with their relationship. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out for them, but we'll see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess that kind of sums it up. And we'll update you on the next couple episodes if we feel called to. Okay, bye.
Okay.